Ladies and gentlemen, we're standing on the brink of another year, another chance, another blank canvas waiting to be painted. But here's the truth no one will tell you outright: life doesn't wait for you. Too many of us spend our days waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity, the right version of ourselves. We keep saying, tomorrow I'll do this. Next year I'll start that. But what if tomorrow never comes? What if another year slips through your fingers like sand? Let me tell you something: you don't need permission to start living your best life. Not from anyone, not even from yourself. The world may try to define what you should want, how you should act, or who you should be, but you are the only author of your story. Own it. Every decision, every detour, every victory, they all belong to you. Time is our greatest currency, and every moment spent on doubt, fear, or indecision is a moment you can never get back. Think about it. Are you spending your time on things that matter? Or are you just surviving, treading water, waiting for something magical to happen? Let me break it to you: the magic isn't out there, it's in you. And yes, you'll fail. We all do. I've stumbled more times than I can count. But do you know what failure is? It's progress in disguise. Every time you fail, you learn. You learn, you adapt, you grow. Waiting for perfect conditions is a trap, and perfection is the biggest myth of all. This year, I challenge you to stop settling. Stop living small to fit into a box someone else created. You owe yourself the dream that's been sitting on your heart. Invest in yourself. Take that class. Start that project. Have the tough conversation. You spend years cheering for others now. It's your time to be your loudest cheerleader. And let's talk about regrets. They're heavier than any failure. The dreams you didn't chase, the words you didn't say, the risks you didn't take, they haunt you. Don't let another year add to that weight. Be bold, be brave. Success isn't about reaching some distant, glittering finish line. It's about waking up each day, knowing that you're chasing something that sets your soul on fire. It's about building a life that's so beautifully yours that even the setbacks feel worth it. So, as the clock ticks forward, I ask you this: what will you do with your next year? Will you spend it waiting, hesitating, doubting? Or will you take the reins, step into your power, and claim the life you've always dreamed of? Don't waste another year. You are worth the leap. Thank you. Life is a series of decisions, big and small. Every morning you wake up, you're faced with choices, some that feel insignificant, like what to wear or what to eat, and others that seem to weigh on you, like which career path to take, who to trust, or whether to take a leap of faith. And yet, no matter how trivial or monumental these decisions seem, they shape your reality. They determine where you go, who you become, and how you feel when you look at yourself in the mirror. But here's the thing about choices: you have to own them. It's so easy to fall into the trap of blaming circumstances, people, or even the timing of things for where you are today. Maybe you think, I can't follow my dreams because I don't have the resources. Or I can't leave this job because it's too risky, or even I can't be happy because of what happened to me in the past. And while those feelings may be valid, they're not permanent unless you let them be. Owning your choices means accepting that where you are today is a result of the decisions you've made, and yes, sometimes the decisions you didn't make. It means standing up and saying, I chose this path and now I have the power to change it. It's about taking full accountability for your life without waiting for someone else to come along and fix it. Because the truth is, no one else is coming. No one else can make the hard calls for you. When you own your choices, you reclaim your power. You stop living life as a victim of circumstances and start living as the architect of your own destiny. This doesn't mean you won't make mistakes. Oh, you will. But those mistakes won't define you. What defines you is how you respond to them, how you learn from them, and how you move forward. Too often, people live their lives on autopilot, following the paths laid out for them by society, family, or fear of judgment. But when you're living someone else's vision for your life, you're not truly living, you're surviving. And survival is not enough. Owning your choices means having the courage to listen to that voice inside you that says, this isn't enough for me, and taking steps, however small, toward a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. It also means letting go of the need to please everyone else. Let's face it, the more you try to make everyone happy, the more you lose yourself in the process. Owning your choices means accepting that not everyone will understand or agree with the decisions you make, and that's okay. The goal isn't to live a life that makes sense to others, it's to live a life that makes sense to you. Sometimes owning your choices means walking away from what's comfortable and familiar. It means leaving behind relationships, jobs, or habits that no longer serve you. And that's terrifying. But comfort is not the same as happiness. Staying in a situation just because it's easy doesn't honor who you are or who you're capable of becoming. It's important to remember that not making a choice is, in itself, a choice. Indecision is a decision to stay stuck. And while it might feel safe in the short term, it's the fastest way to waste precious time. Every moment spent in indecision is a moment you're not moving forward, a moment you're not growing. Owning your choices also means taking responsibility for the consequences of those choices. It's not about perfection, it's about honesty. It's about saying, yes, I made this decision, and here's what I'm going to do next. It's about embracing the lessons that come with every misstep and using them as stepping stones to build a stronger, wiser version of yourself. No one else can live your life for you. No one else can make your choices for you. And when you look back on your life, you won't remember the opinions of others or the expectations that tried to hold you back. You'll remember the moments when you stood tall, trusted your instincts, and chose to live boldly on your own terms. If there's one thing we all have in common, it's time. No matter who you are, where you come from, or what you have, each of us is given the same 24 hours in a day. And yet, the way we choose to spend those hours is what separates a life that feels purposeful from one that feels unfulfilled. Time is the most precious resource you will ever have. Unlike money, it can't be earned back once it's spent. Unlike possessions, it can't be replaced or traded. Once a moment is gone, it's gone forever. And yet, so many of us treat time as though it's unlimited, as though there will always be some day to do the things we've been putting off. Think about it. How often do we let entire days slip away doing things that don't truly matter to us? We spend hours scrolling through social media, stuck in toxic routines, or saying yes to commitments that drain us. And while we're busy filling our days with distractions or obligations, we're spending the one currency we can never get back. Time isn't just measured in minutes or hours, it's measured in the quality of the moments you create. Every hour spent doing something that doesn't align with your values, dreams, or joy is an hour you're borrowing from your future self. And that future self might look back and wonder why you didn't prioritize what really mattered. When you think of time as a currency, it changes the way you approach your life. Imagine waking up every day with a set amount of time dollars to spend. How would you use them? Would you waste them on things that don't bring you closer to your goals or happiness? Or would you invest them wisely in relationships, experiences, and growth? The way you spend your time speaks volumes about what you truly value. Do you value your health? Then you'll spend time nourishing your body, exercising, and resting. Do you value your relationships? Then you'll spend time being present, listening, and creating memories with the people you love. Do you value your dreams? Then you'll spend time learning, taking risks, and building the life you want. But here's the catch: we often don't realize the value of time until it's too late. We take it for granted, assuming there will always be more of it. And that's the greatest illusion of all. Life doesn't come with guarantees. We don't know how many days, months, or years we have left. And while that might feel overwhelming, it's also liberating. It's a reminder to stop wasting time on things that don't serve us. So many of us spend our days in busy mode thinking that being busy is the same as being productive. But being busy isn't the goal. Being purposeful is. The busiest person in the room isn't necessarily the happiest or the most fulfilled. It's not about how much you do, it's about what you do with intention. We also spend a lot of time waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect version of ourselves. But time doesn't wait for you to feel ready. It moves forward whether you're prepared or not. Waiting for perfection is like throwing your time into a black hole. The truth is, the perfect moment doesn't exist. The only time you have is now, and it's up to you to make it count. Another way we waste time is by holding on to the past. How many hours, days, or even years have you spent replaying old mistakes, reliving painful moments, or wishing things could have been different? While it's important to learn from the past, dwelling on it robs you of the present. And the present is the only place where you have the power to create change. On the flip side, some of us spend so much time worrying about the future that we forget to live in the moment. We get so caught up in planning, predicting, and preparing that we miss the beauty of what's happening right now. But the future is shaped by the choices you make today. If you're not fully present in your own life, you're not truly living. It's like watching your life through a screen instead of stepping into it. Time isn't just about what you do, it's also about who you spend it with. The people you surround yourself with play a huge role in how your time feels. Are you spending your time with people who uplift you, challenge you, and bring out the best in you? Or are you spending it with people who drain your energy and make you feel small? Who you give your time to is just as important as what you do with it. Time is the foundation of everything you want to achieve. Every dream, every goal, every relationship, it all depends on how you manage and prioritize your time. When you treat time like the treasure it is, you start to see the world differently. You stop giving it away to things that don't deserve it, and you start protecting it like the valuable currency it truly is. Failure is a word that often carries so much weight, so much fear, and so much stigma. We're taught from a young age to avoid it at all costs, to strive for perfection, and to equate success with a spotless track record. But the truth is, failure is one of the most valuable experiences you will ever have. It's not the opposite of success, it's an essential part of it. Think about it, everything you've learned in life, every skill you've mastered, and every bit of strength you've gained has likely come from moments when things didn't go as planned. Failure is a mirror that shows us our vulnerabilities, our limits, and most importantly, our potential to grow. It forces us to confront what went wrong, make adjustments, and come back stronger. It's a teacher that no success can ever replace. The problem isn't failure itself, it's the way we view it. Society often paints failure as a final verdict, a sign that you weren't good enough, smart enough, or capable enough. But failure isn't the end of the road, it's a stepping stone on the path to something greater. It's not a reflection of your worth, it's a reflection of your willingness to try. When you embrace failure, you stop seeing it as something to be feared and start seeing it as an opportunity. Every failure contains a lesson, and every lesson brings you closer to where you're meant to be. But you have to be willing to look for those lessons. You have to be willing to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? That's the mindset that turns failure into fuel for success. Failure also has a way of exposing the things that truly matter to you. When you fail at something and feel the sting of disappointment, it's a sign that you cared enough to try in the first place. That's a beautiful thing. It means you were brave enough to step out of your comfort zone and pursue something meaningful. And that bravery is worth celebrating, no matter the outcome. But let's be honest, embracing failure isn't easy. It's uncomfortable. It hurts. It can shake your confidence and make you question everything. And that's okay. Growth is rarely comfortable, but it's always worth it. The discomfort of failure is temporary, but the lessons it teaches you can last a lifetime. One of the biggest gifts of failure is resilience. Every time you fail and choose to get back up, you're building strength. You're proving to yourself that you can handle setbacks, that you can adapt, and that you can keep moving forward no matter what. Resilience is like a muscle, it grows stronger every time you use it, and failure gives you countless opportunities to flex that muscle. Failure also teaches you humility. It reminds you that you're human, that you don't have all the answers, and that you're still a work in progress. It keeps you grounded and open to learning. And in a world that often celebrates ego and perfection, humility is a rare and powerful trait. It's what allows you to connect with others, seek guidance, and keep improving. Another incredible thing about failure is that it forces you to get creative. When plan A doesn't work, you're forced to come up with plan B, plan C, or even plan Z. It pushes you to think outside the box, try new approaches, and innovate in ways you never would have considered otherwise. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in history have come from people who failed over and over again before finally finding success. Failure also has a way of building empathy. When you've experienced setbacks and challenges yourself, you're better able to understand and support others who are going through their own struggles. It makes you kinder, more compassionate, and more relatable. And that's a gift not just to yourself, but to everyone around you. It's important to remember that failure doesn't define you. What defines you is how you respond to it. Do you let it stop you, or do you use it as a stepping stone to something greater? Do you let it make you bitter, or do you let it make you better? These are the choices you get to make every time you face a setback. And let's not forget, failure is proof that you're trying. It's proof that you're putting yourself out there, taking risks, and refusing to settle for a life of mediocrity. The only true failure is not trying at all, staying in your comfort zone, avoiding risks, and never giving yourself the chance to grow. Embracing failure also means letting go of the need for perfection. Perfection is an illusion, a standard that no one can ever truly meet. When you strive for perfection, you're setting yourself up for disappointment and robbing yourself of the joy of progress. But when you embrace failure, you allow yourself to focus on growth, effort, and the journey itself. Lastly, failure reminds you that success is never a straight line. It's a winding road filled with detours, dead ends, and unexpected turns. Every successful person you admire has faced failures along the way. They've had moments of doubt, setbacks, and struggles. But what sets them apart is their ability to keep going, to learn from their failures, and to use them as fuel for their dreams. When people hear the word investment, they often think about stocks, property, or financial portfolios. But the most important investment you will ever make isn't in a bank account or a piece of real estate, it's in yourself. You are your greatest asset, and the time, energy, and resources you dedicate to your growth will yield returns that no market can match. Investing in yourself begins with understanding your worth. Too often, we undervalue ourselves, thinking it's selfish or unnecessary to prioritize our needs and aspirations. But let me tell you this, when you neglect yourself, you're not just shortchanging your own potential, you're also depriving the world of everything you have to offer. The more you pour into your growth, the more you have to give, whether it's to your family, your community, your career, or your dreams. At its core, investing in yourself means prioritizing your personal development. It's about recognizing that you're not a finished product, but a work in progress. And just like any valuable endeavor, growth requires effort, intention, and sometimes sacrifice. It means taking the time to learn new skills, expand your knowledge, and challenge yourself in ways that push you out of your comfort zone. One of the best ways to invest in yourself is through education, not just formal education, but lifelong learning. Read books that inspire you. Take courses that align with your passions. Seek out mentors who can guide you. The more you learn, the more equipped you are to navigate life's challenges and seize its opportunities. Knowledge isn't just power, it's freedom. It's the key to unlocking doors you didn't even know existed. Investing in yourself also means taking care of your physical and mental well being. Your body and mind are the vessels that carry you through life, and neglecting them comes at a cost. Prioritize exercise, sleep, and nutrition not because society tells you to, but because you deserve to feel strong, healthy, and vibrant. And don't forget about your mental health. Take time to rest, reflect, and recharge. Seek therapy or counseling if you need it. Surround yourself with positivity and protect your energy from things that drain it. Self care isn't indulgent, it's essential. Another aspect of self investment is cultivating self awareness. Take the time to understand who you are, your strengths, weaknesses, passions, and values. When you know yourself deeply, you can make decisions that align with your true self instead of living according to someone else's expectations. Self awareness gives you clarity, and clarity gives you power. Investing in yourself also means setting boundaries. Your time, energy, and attention are finite resources, and not everyone or everything deserves them. Learn to say no to things that don't serve you and don't feel guilty about it. Boundaries aren't walls, they're bridges to a healthier, more focused version of yourself. Financially investing in yourself is another important step. Spend money on things that contribute to your growth, whether it's a course, a coach, or tools to help you pursue your goals. Often we hesitate to spend on ourselves, thinking it's an unnecessary expense. But the truth is, the money you spend on your development is never wasted. It's an investment in your future. Another way to invest in yourself is by nurturing your creativity. Every single one of us has creative potential, but too often we let it lie dormant because we're too busy, too afraid, or too conditioned to focus solely on practicality. Take up a hobby that excites you. Even if it doesn't seem productive, write, paint, dance, build, do whatever lights a spark in you. Creativity isn't just about art, it's about problem solving, thinking differently, and keeping your mind open to possibilities. Your relationships are also a part of self investment. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, inspire you, and challenge you to be better. Distance yourself from those who drain your energy, belittle your dreams, or make you feel small. The people in your life should be a source of encouragement, not a barrier to your growth. Investing in yourself also requires taking risks. Growth rarely happens in the comfort zone. Whether it's starting a new project, switching careers, or putting yourself out there in a new way, taking calculated risks is how you discover what you're truly capable of. Failure might happen, but as we've already discussed, failure is part of the process. What's worse than failing is staying stuck in a place where you know you're not living up to your potential. Lastly, investing in yourself means believing in yourself. It means silencing the inner critic that tells you you're not good enough or capable enough. You are worthy of the effort it takes to grow. You are deserving of the opportunities you dream about. But it all starts with the decision to put yourself first, not in a way that's selfish, but in a way that honors your purpose and your potential. When you choose to invest in yourself, you're planting seeds for a future that's bigger, brighter, and more fulfilling than anything you could imagine today. The returns on that investment may not be immediate, but they are certain. Every step you take toward becoming the best version of yourself is a step toward a life that feels authentically yours. Regret is one of the heaviest emotions a person can carry. It has a way of creeping into your heart and settling in the quiet corners of your mind, replaying moments you wish you could undo, words you wish you could take back, and chances you wish you had taken. But regret, if left unchecked, can steal your present and cloud your future. That's why it's so important to decide, here and now, to say no to regrets. Living without regret doesn't mean living without mistakes. Mistakes are inevitable, they're part of being human. What it means is that you approach your life with a mindset that refuses to let regret dictate how you feel about yourself or your journey. It's about owning your choices, learning from your experiences, and moving forward with courage and grace. Regret often stems from two main sources: the things we did that we wish we hadn't, and the things we didn't do that we wish we had. The first kind of regret is rooted in guilt. Maybe you made a decision that hurt someone, failed at something important, or took a path you later realized wasn't right for you. The second kind of regret, though, can be even more haunting. It's the regret of inaction, the dreams left unpursued, the words left unsaid, the risks left untaken. The antidote to regret is action. When you take action, even imperfect action, you give yourself the chance to grow, to learn, and to create a life that feels meaningful. Inaction, on the other hand, leads to stagnation and a sense of what if that can linger for years. Saying no to regrets means saying yes to life, to opportunities, and to the possibility of failure, because even failure is better than wondering what might have been. To live a life without regrets, you have to make peace with the fact that you won't always get it right. No one does. But mistakes don't define you unless you let them. Every misstep is an opportunity to grow, to understand yourself better, and to adjust your course. Regret is only permanent if you let it paralyze you. Instead, use it as a catalyst for change. Ask yourself, what can I do differently next time? How can I turn this experience into wisdom? Another way to say no to regrets is to live with intention. Be present in your life. Don't let days slip by in autopilot, doing what's expected of you without questioning whether it aligns with who you are and what you want. When you live intentionally, you make decisions that reflect your values, your goals, and your dreams. You stop living for other people's approval and start living for your own sense of purpose. Saying no to regrets also means letting go of the need for perfection. So many of us put off taking risks or making changes because we're waiting for the perfect time, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect version of ourselves. But perfection is a myth. If you wait for everything to be just right, you'll wait forever. Life isn't about getting it perfect, it's about getting it real. It's about showing up, trying your best, and being okay with the messiness of the journey. Forgiveness is another key to living without regret. Forgive others, yes, but also forgive yourself. Holding on to guilt or shame over past mistakes only anchors you to the past. You are not the person you were yesterday, last year, or 10 years ago. Every day is a chance to start fresh, to do better, and to make choices that reflect the person you've become. Living without regret also requires courage, the courage to take risks, to make bold decisions, and to follow your heart even when it scares you. Fear will always be there, whispering reasons to stay safe, to avoid failure, to keep things as they are. But fear and regret are cousins. The more you let fear dictate your life, the more you'll invite regret into it. Saying no to regrets means saying yes to courage, even when it feels uncomfortable. Regret can also come from focusing too much on the past or the future and not enough on the present. We get caught up in reliving past mistakes or worrying about what's ahead, and in doing so, we miss the beauty and possibility of the moment we're in. The present is the only time you have any control over. It's where life happens. When you focus on the here and now, you give yourself the chance to create a future that you look back on with pride, not regret. Another aspect of saying no to regrets is learning to let go. Let go of the relationship situations and expectations that no longer serve you. Holding on to something just because it's familiar or because you're afraid to let it go often leads to regret down the line. Trust yourself enough to release what's weighing you down, even if it feels hard in the moment. And let's not forget the importance of gratitude. Regret often comes from a place of scarcity, of focusing on what we don't have or didn't do. But when you practice gratitude, you shift your perspective. You start to see the beauty in what you've experienced, the lessons in what you've endured, and the opportunities that still lie ahead. Gratitude doesn't erase the past, but it makes it easier to move forward with hope and optimism. Lastly, saying no to regrets means being true to yourself. It means honoring your dreams, your values, and your instincts, even when the world tells you to conform. It means living a life that feels authentic to you, not one that's designed to meet someone else's expectations. When you stay true to who you are, you'll find that even the mistakes you make feel meaningful because they're part of a life that's truly yours. For too long, we've been conditioned to view success through a narrow, one size fits all lens. It's often defined by society as having a certain title, earning a specific income, achieving public recognition, or living a picture perfect life. But when you strip away the filters, the accolades, and the expectations, what does success really mean? Whose definition are you living by? And more importantly, does it truly reflect what matters to you? To redefine success, you first have to question the narrative you've been told. Think about it. From the moment we're born, we're subtly taught what success should look like. It's in the movies we watch, the stories we hear, and the milestones society celebrates. Graduate from school, get a stable job, buy a house, get married, have kids, and climb the corporate ladder. And while there's absolutely nothing wrong with these goals if they resonate with you, the problem arises when we accept them as the ultimate blueprint for success without ever stopping to ask ourselves, is this what I truly want? True success isn't about ticking off a checklist someone else created. It's about alignment, living in harmony with your values, passions, and purpose. It's about waking up every day feeling a sense of fulfillment, knowing that you're living authentically and pursuing a life that feels meaningful to you. Redefining success means giving yourself permission to step away from societal norms and create your own path, even if it looks nothing like what others expect. The traditional view of success often prioritizes external validation over internal satisfaction. We chase promotions, fancy titles, and material possessions because we think they'll bring us happiness or earn us the respect of others. But how many people have achieved all those things only to feel empty inside? How many times have we seen someone who seems to have it all admit that they're still searching for something more? That's because true success can't be measured by what's visible to others, it's measured by how it feels to you. Redefining success also means embracing the idea that it's not a destination but a journey. Society loves to present success as an endpoint, a goal you reach after years of hard work and sacrifice. But the reality is, success is fluid. It evolves as you grow and change. What felt like success to you 5 years ago might not resonate with you today. And that's okay. Success isn't static, it's personal and dynamic. It grows with you. One of the most liberating aspects of redefining success is realizing that it's not about comparison. In today's world, it's easier than ever to fall into the trap of comparing your life to someone else's. Social media is a highlight reel filled with snapshots of other people's achievements, travels, and milestones. But someone else's success doesn't diminish your own. Your journey is yours alone, and it's impossible to compare it to anyone else's because no one else has walked in your shoes. Redefining success also means making room for balance. The traditional definition of success often glorifies hustle culture, working endless hours, sacrificing your health and relationships, and pushing yourself to the brink of burnout in the name of achievement. But at what cost? True success isn't about exhausting yourself, it's about creating a life that feels sustainable and fulfilling. It's about prioritizing your well-being and understanding that rest, joy, and connection are just as important as ambition. Another important aspect of redefining success is focusing on impact rather than income. While financial stability is important, it's not the only measure of a meaningful life. Success can also be about the difference you make in the lives of others, whether it's through your work, your relationships, or the way you show up in your community. It's about leaving the world a little better than you found it. And that kind of success can't be measured in dollars and cents. It's measured in the smiles you create, the lives you touch, and the legacy you leave behind. Redefining success also requires letting go of the fear of failure. The conventional definition of success often frames failure as the opposite of success, something to be avoided at all costs. But in reality, failure is a stepping stone to growth. It's not a detour from the path to success, it's part of the path itself. Every failure teaches you something, pushes you to grow, and brings you closer to your goals. When you redefine success, you start to see failure not as a setback, but as a valuable part of the journey. One of the most beautiful things about redefining success is that it allows you to focus on what truly matters to you. For some, success might mean building a thriving career. For others, it might mean having the freedom to spend time with family, travel the world, or pursue a passion project. Success might look like waking up every day with a sense of purpose or simply having the courage to live life on your own terms. There's no right or wrong answer, only the answer that feels true to you. To redefine success, you also have to let go of the pressure to do it all. Society often equates success with being everything to everyone, excelling in your career, maintaining a perfect home, being a devoted partner, and staying fit and stylish all at once. But real success isn't about perfection or multitasking. It's about focus. It's about identifying what's most important to you and directing your energy there. It's about quality, not quantity. Another critical part of redefining success is learning to celebrate progress. In a world that's obsessed with big wins and major milestones, it's easy to overlook the small victories along the way. But success isn't just about the end goal, it's about the steps you take to get there. It's about showing up for yourself every day, even when it's hard. It's about acknowledging the effort you're putting in and giving yourself credit for how far you've come. Redefining success also means recognizing that it's okay to change your mind. Life is unpredictable, and so are we. The goals you set for yourself at 20 might not align with who you are at 40, and that's not a failure, it's growth. Success isn't about sticking to a rigid plan, it's about staying true to yourself as you evolve. It's about having the courage to pivot, to start over, or to walk away from something that no longer serves you. Finally, redefining success means finding joy in the journey. When you let go of the idea that success is a far off destination and start appreciating the moments along the way, everything changes. You begin to see success in the simple things, in the relationships you nurture, the challenges you overcome, and the moments of peace and happiness you create for yourself. Success becomes less about achieving something and more about being fully present in the life you're living. In conclusion, life is too precious to live by someone else's definition of success, and it's too short to let regrets define us. Embracing your own path, owning your choices, and investing in yourself are powerful tools that help you create a life that feels meaningful and true. Success is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It's a deeply personal journey shaped by your values, passions, and purpose. It's about finding balance, making an impact, and learning from every step, both the successes and the failures. Let go of societal pressures, release the fear of imperfection, and focus on what truly matters to you. Say no to the expectations that weigh you down, and say yes to living a life that aligns with who you are. The journey to redefine success, live without regret, and embrace your full potential starts with one choice: to honor yourself and your dreams.